so often, the sports hangover touches on mature topics. Discretion is advised.
Welcome to the summer edition of the Sports Hangover. We are suntanned and looking good. May is upon us. We've been to the beach a little bit lately, right?
I've been to the beach. I don't know where you've been. I feel like you've been in those the bright light rooms of hospital offices. That's where you've been.
Too much of that, but Florida has some beaches too, so I have been to the beach. On Mother's Day, I went to the beach, surprised Mom. It was a good day.
All right. I'm glad. Now it looks like you're in a, I told you this before the show, it looks like you're in a, what is it, like a waiting room. Inside.
I want you to explain that. You said a waiting room at like a sports bar? Is that what you said?
No, I like a sports network because you see all like the golf stuff behind you, a nice black leather couch and the little lighting.
I'm in the green room, right?
Yeah, you're in the green room waiting too.
The studio's right next to us, but I don't want to turn on the lights and go over.
Yeah. It's in use right now. They don't want you to film in there. Jeremy, so last week we had the NFL draft. We also had 2 days ago Donald Sterling did an Anderson Cooper interview. Lots of stuff has been happening. So first, let's talk about Donald Sterling.
Okay, good.
He might be going crazy, and we saw that go on live TV.
That was a really bad interview. It wasn't even live. They taped it like the day before. I don't know why he did the interview with no intention to right any of his wrongs. Like, all he did was stir the pot more with the Magic Johnson stuff, which I know we're going to talk about.
Yes.
He didn't say any, like, apologizing. He didn't do anything to help his situation. All he did was dig his grave deeper.
So what I got out of it is I think the only reason he's apologizing is because his granddaughter was punished at school because they didn't give her candy because she was a racist. That was the only reason I think he actually came on TV. Did you hear that part?
Now, I haven't heard that story at all.
He said it in the interview. He's like, "Oh, my granddaughter, blah." He said
That's disturbing.
but
he never apologized, Mike.
No,
he never said
apologized.
Sorry for what I said. He made a mistake when he said that he should have loved his wife and not committed adultery with someone else.
Yes, that's very true.
And then the whole Magic Johnson thing. Why is he calling out Magic?
Okay.
What did Magic do to him?
Here we go. Conspiracy theory. This might be true. I don't know what it is.
I'm sure it's true.
So, what I think, for years and years and years, I think Magic has wanted to buy the Clippers. He wants to own another, obviously, LA team, basketball. So he wanted to own it. He's been friends with Vivian, whatever her name is. We'll call her V. Been friends with her for years. Introduced her around to, some Dodgers players, hanging out, celebrities, rubbing shoulders with everybody. I think she came back, said, "Hey, Mr. Sterling doesn't like me hanging out with you." And he's like, "Oh, well, here we go." So this, in his brain, he's like, "Okay, you go back, you record this conversation, and then somebody will leak this to push him out of the Clippers to take over the Clippers. Now he can swoop in and take it over."
You're saying Magic was the puppet master here, pulled all the strings, and it's playing out exactly like he wanted. Because that's my problem. Because Magic Johnson is not a bright man. He's a rich man, but he's not bright. Because I watched him for years on ESPN, and he was downright awful. One of the worst analysts on TV. I don't think he could have pulled every string perfectly for it to work out.
But I think I get where he's coming from, because maybe he's not the brightest man, but he might be a businessman. And now, I mean, look, he owns a lot of businesses. He's got a little. I'm sure he doesn't own 100% of the Dodgers, because there's no way he can afford all that. But he now could be in line to own the Clippers. This is a perfect setup for him, and I think this is what happened. And I'm not mad that it happened, because obviously Donald Sterling is a racist. And
so you understand how this appears to our audience, that you are blaming Magic Johnson for this entire situation.
Correct. I'm not. No. I'm not blaming him. I'm just saying he's the mastermind behind all of this. I'm not saying he released the video. I'm saying he might have known of it before and released it. That's why he's so calm on the phone. It's like, "Oh, I just pray for Mr. Sterling." Very polite, looking. Go ahead. What?
Well, I have an ulterior conspiracy. And this one's been floating around, and I think this may have happened.
We should go back to our... go ahead. I was going to say we should... Go ahead. Go ahead.
What if Magic Johnson banged V. Stiviano?
Oh, no, that's for sure.
Oh, this is for sure.
Oh, that's...
This is a fact? This isn't a conspiracy?
Yeah, I mean, definitely had sex with her.
This happened.
I mean...
Because according to Donald Sterling, he bangs all the girls.
That's how he got the AIDS.
In all the cities, he got the AIDS. So he bangs V. Stiviano, and Sterling says, fuck this guy. I'm going to come out and call him out on the Anderson Cooper interview. And that's why he said what he said. Because why is he talking so poorly about Magic? Where is this coming from?
Because he doesn't
what he said about Magic was arguably worse than what he said on the tapes in the first.
In his mind, he's trying to reason that Magic Johnson is a worse person than he is, saying that he slept with all these ladies to get AIDS, and that's why Anderson Cooper is more of a racist than Donald Sterling.
Interesting.
He wants to, yeah. So this is all Magic. Magic's got it right where he wants it.
Mike, I have a game that I want to play called What Would You Do? I was going to save it for later, but one of my topics is about this. I'm just going to throw it at you right now.
All right, let's go. Do you want me to sing a little? What?
You were in charge.
Oh, well, you froze there, so I started singing. What would you do?
You keep singing if you want.
No, go ahead.
A little lag.
All
right. What would you do if you were in control of Donald Sterling throughout this entire process, right? Would you let him speak? Would you have him apologize? Would you tell him to get lost? What would you do if you had the reins, the keys to his car?
One, I would not let him on TV. I would have him or somebody in his team write up a letter of apology. Just send it out to the press. Here you go. I'm sorry. Never be seen. Then go get your cancer treatment. Go get pictures of yourself getting cancer.
The paparazzi outside the cancer center?
You just really want to make it seem good. Then maybe willingly sell the team. Just be like, I'm going to step down. I'm going to sell a team. I'm going to make $1 billion plus on this team. So why not sell it? He bought it for what? Not very, very cheap, right?
Very cheap. Long time ago, very cheap.
So now he's going to sell for $1 billion plus. He sells it, makes a little money. He's old. I mean, just get rid of the money. Buy something else. I mean, there's other sports teams he could buy without anybody. Like, buy a hockey team or buy something else.
You could probably buy a hockey team because they're all white, but that's the only sport I'm thinking.
I know. But so I would not let him out in the public unless it was very, very planned. Yeah,
the Anderson Cooper interview was a bad idea, and that's why I bring this up, because why did he say what he said? He just dug his grave even further, like I said before. Yeah. Why? I mean, he's so rich. He has to have advisors and kids and family members around him. They're looking after him. I don't understand why no one is saying, hey, dude, you're 82. You sound like a nut. Let's not do this interview.
I know.
And that's the first step, right? And what would you do? I like the idea of the paparazzi plants outside the cancer center. Yeah. If he does have cancer or not, he should still go in those doors and spend 6 hours a day in there for the paparazzi.
Yeah, just like go in there and chat with people. It doesn't matter. Just be.
And he should sell the team. Just do it. Just sell the team.
Listen,
just get rid of it.
He's a
just
racist.
Do it under. Yeah,
and
but just do it.
Yeah.
There's no other way to do it right now. Just give up the team, and he's not letting go of it.
No one's gonna like you. You're just gonna be this evil rich guy, and just live out your days happy. Go to like some, buy yourself an island. Go hang out at the beach. He doesn't need to be in L.A. or wherever he is. That's what I would do, Jeremy. That's what I would do.
There's more. What would you do coming as we go? Okay. Not right now, but as we go.
Okay.
So what's
my question for you, Jeremy? As you know, not a big baseball fan.
Okay.
ESPN plays it a lot. I see a lot of stories go on.
Yeah.
I've been hearing about this Tommy John surgery. I don't know what a Tommy John surgery is. I know it's got to do with your elbow somewhere. But what's going on? You like baseball. I think you might have followed it a little bit.
For 25 years.
Yeah, so tell me about this Tommy John surgery.
Yeah, so Tommy John I'll do a little diagram here. It's a problem with your elbow. The nerves in your elbow, you tear these ligaments in your elbow right in here, right?
Yeah.
And that's when you need to have Tommy John surgery. Tommy John had this injury, and he was the first guy ever to get the surgery, and it's called Tommy John surgery, yet he makes no money, $0 off the name of it, and everyone uses it.
Son of a bitch.
So this season, 34 baseball players since the beginning of March have had to undergo Tommy John surgery. 34 since the beginning of March. This is May. 2 months, 34. That's like 16, 17 a month, including baseball's top pitcher, Jose Fernandez. The Mets have a great pitcher, Matt Harvey, who had it. Steven Strasburg, another young pitcher, had it recently. And it's a devastating injury because you miss 12 to 16 months, over a year of time you miss. It's the longest recovery. It's worse than an ACL in football.
So what's happening with all? Are they going to just take out pitchers out of the game and just kind of roll the balls, or have a pitcher machine?
Well, it's definitely a problem, and there's no solution yet. People are like freaking out. We don't know what to do because these young guys trying to watch their innings limits. They're trying to not have them pitch too much or throw too often.
Yeah.
And it's still happening. So what is the solution? No one knows. It's a mystery.
So what is this going to do to the game of baseball? All these young guys getting a year, they won't be back for a year. What is going to happen? I mean, already the game is.
Well, it's going to affect the talent of the game, right? Because it's the best pitchers in the league that tend to get it. You don't hear many guys that really suck that have the injury, which is interesting, right? Is it because their better pitchers cause more wear and tear on their arms because their pitches?
Now, is it about the speed or is it just about the release? Like, is it do like sideways pitchers? Maybe are those less likely to get it if they pitch sideways? You know, like those.
We don't know the whole reason. We think the biggest thing is you put so much strain on your shoulder by throwing a lot, by throwing often, that it puts additional strain on your elbow, and your elbow is not nearly as strong as your shoulder, so that's why the elbow damage occurs. And like without an elbow, dude, what can you do, right? You can't even move your arm. Without your shoulder, you could move your hand and do some things. Without your elbow, you're fucked.
That's true.
And it's just a problem because all these young guys are having it happen to them.
So maybe
and you, Mike, you took notice, and that's a big deal.
I took notice. I mean, I just heard the stats on there, and then I heard like Cowherd talk about how all they do at these baseball camps is throw all day long, all summer long. All you do is throw. Yeah. And I mean, it's going to happen. So, does steroids fix this? Can they juice up a little?
No.
No?
They can't fix it.
They can't fix it.
They can't fix it. Yeah. They're screwed until they figure out what to do. I mean, maybe underhand is next.
Jeremy, the draft happened last week.
Yeah.
We were all holding our breath. We were like, when is Johnny Manziel going to get drafted? We were wrong. I called you right before. I'm like, Jeremy, Johnny Manziel, over under 8. We were gambling on it. We
gambled on the draft. That's hardcore.
And guess what? Didn't win any money because we thought 3 quarterbacks were going to go in the first round. 2 went. Johnny Manziel, over under.
3 went.
3 went?
Yeah, 3 went.
Oh, well, then
you won that. We won something.
I didn't notice any winnings in my
Bridgewater got 32.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So Cleveland got Johnny Manziel, but this is all about the jersey sales. Mm-hmm. Michael Sam got number 2 spot right now with his jersey sale.
Of all the rookies?
Of all the rookies. It goes Johnny Manziel, Michael Sam, Clowney, Bridgewater, and your boy, Bortles.
Bortles is up there. Nice.
He's up there, number 5. So, how do you feel about the draft? What do you think? Best team. So, who do you think got the best deals?
The Browns did really well. They got Johnny Manziel, they got a top cornerback, and they got next year's first-round pick from the Bills. They did the best of anyone.
We forgot about, what's his name? The receiver, Josh Gordon. Out. He's gone.
Josh Gordon. Not necessarily. Let's get to Josh Gordon after we talk about the draft. All right, start with the Browns. It was interesting how they passed on Manziel in the first round, right? They knew that he wasn't the guy there. Whether someone else took him or they got him later, they knew they didn't want him enough to draft him there, which is very interesting, right?
They knew he's
They took some cornerback instead. Like, if Manziel's all he's cracked up to be, he's better than some corner, correct?
Yes, very true.
So I don't know what that was about, but they still got Manziel later. And then Blake Bortles going number 3, UCF boy to the Jaguars. That was a shocker, was it not?
That was big. He was the first quarterback to go, right?
That was a very, very proud day for our UCF mates. What I want to ask you about is Michael Sam.
Jeremy.
A lot of backlash about Michael Sam and the kiss scene around the world.
Yeah.
He kissed. I did not expect his boyfriend to look like that.
I didn't either. That's what threw me off the most. It wasn't that he kissed. It was like, why he's so much smaller than...
He's such a little person.
Yeah.
And Michael Sam is a big person. And odd couple for sure, but good for them. And the kiss, whether you like it or not, it generated a ton of buzz and people were ripping it. You know, a Dolphins player tweeted OMG and got fined for it.
Jeremy, your Dolphins team just hates on everything.
Just can't behave. So I was surprised to see the kiss, honestly, on ESPN.
I mean, the kiss wasn't like they were, like throwing some tongue out. It was just like he kissed him quickly. He's excited. He's now the first, and I mean, there could be many other gay players in the NFL, but he's the first openly gay player in the NFL. Big deal. He might not make the team, but he's still, right now, he got drafted. He was excited. I mean, this is what he's been waiting for all his life, and
it's such a big deal that he was drafted and he's gay, he's 7th round. There's like a 50-50 chance he won't make the team. Last year, 47% of 7th round draft picks were cut before training camp. There's a great chance he won't make the team. What I want to ask you, though, is something happened to Michael Sam, and I fully support him on his quest. I think it's something the NFL needs, right?
Yes.
And we just don't want a Jason Collins situation. But we could be creeping over there because Oprah Winfrey has reached out to Michael Sam.
Okay.
And they have agreed to do a documentary TV show on his quest to make it in the NFL on OWN Network, Oprah's network. Now,
I don't like
before I get your thoughts,
Yeah.
what would you do returns? Question number 2.
Well,
What would you do if you're Michael Sam, you're drafted, you kissed, and Oprah comes to you? And Oprah says, I want to do a documentary on your quest to make it in the NFL.
Yeah.
What do you say to Oprah?
well, first, I'm a black man, correct? That's how I'm.
You have changed.
Okay. So, it's Oprah. She's huge. You don't say no to Oprah. Oprah comes to you. She says, you're gonna have a documentary about the first openly gay player to join the NFL. You say yes. You do the show. Now, does the NFL allow you to do the show? How much is Oprah willing to pay for those rights? Who knows? So yeah, you do it.
Well, I mean, I'm kind of surprised you said that. Doesn't he have to look out for himself more than he looks out for Oprah? Doesn't he have to put 110% focus on making the NFL and not being a reality TV star? And even the perception that he's trying to capitalize off this, which is such a fine line to walk. We saw it with Jason Collins.
I know, but look at Johnny Manziel. Like, he comes out on stage, he's like this, like money, 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 money. He's not wearing the jersey. I mean,
What does that have to do with it?
I'm saying that Johnny Manziel is not looking out. He's trying to capitalize on every part of this. He wants to make money. And Michael Sam should try to make money too, because you don't know if you're going to make the team. You don't know how long you're going to be in the league. So make money where you can make the money.
But every other 7th round pick isn't afforded those same opportunities. And now Michael Sam is getting special opportunities because he has come out as a gay person. And that is going to strike a lot of people as negative. And it strikes me as someone who may be out for the fame and the money more than he's out for really being a trailblazer in the sport and doing something.
It's true, but if you're the first, it's like you go to the moon, you want you want somebody to document it. You're the first.
Then you shoot it, and let's not tell anyone. And the day I retire, let's release a movie on my life story. Let's do that.
Maybe that's how it's going to be. Maybe he's just
maybe it debuts in August.
it might just before the season opens. Yeah,
but like I said, I support Michael Sam. I don't like the idea that he's all of a sudden doing a TV show and the money thing. I don't like that. He should be focusing on football right now.
Jeremy, you know who's not focusing on football right now? Aaron Rodgers.
What?
Spotted out. You know who Olivia Munn is?
Oh yeah.
That looks like a face of a.
No, I do from the newsroom, right?
Yeah, from the newsroom and other G4 network and stuff like that.
Who watches G4 network?
I used to watch G4 network, Jeremy.
Sorry.
Aaron Rodgers might be dating Olivia Munn, but that's not the big news, Jeremy.
Stop! No, he's gay.
That's what. Yeah, we've discussed that before. The big news: Golden Tate and his girlfriend are fighting over all the rumors that are spreading about him fucking Russell Wilson's wife or
now.
ex-wife.
This generated a lot of buzz on our Twitter last week at TSH Podcast. We were tweeting all about the breaking news: Russell Wilson divorced his wife because Golden Tate stuck his wiener in her.
Yeah.
And now you're saying that they're fighting, which only adds to the rumors.
Yep, and they're living.
But you also said Russell Wilson is gay. So what's going on?
Whoa,
is everyone gay? Is everyone
I did not
half and half?
I did not say Russell Wilson was gay. I just said that was another theory out there. I'm not saying everybody's gay. I'm just saying I hear things. I got my ear to the street. I know what's going on.
It's like this theory. It's all over the place. Like everyone's gay, kind of. Right?
Listen. Just forget about that gay comment about Russell Wilson.
Okay, he's not.
He had a wife.
Yeah.
And his wife might have had sex with Golden Tate. And now Golden Tate and his girlfriend fighting.
And so now the question is, where does Russell's ex-wife go? Does she stay in Seattle? Does she move to Detroit? Those are the two telltale things.
No. The telltale thing would be next, Golden Tate breaks up with his girlfriend. Then Russell Wilson.
But we may not know about that. We may just find out that Mrs. Russell moved to Detroit all of a sudden, and then they're cohabitating.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Golden Tate's a dirty dog, man.
He's dirty. Now he's in Detroit. It all fits. It's
he's really filthy now.
All right, Jeremy. That is it for our show.
No, it's not, because I have one more.
Damn it.
What would you do?
All right.
I'm going to keep you here a while longer.
All right.
So we saw a Game 7 last night, right?
Oh, hockey.
2 nights.
Wait.
Hockey,
We didn't
yeah.
talk about any hockey games. Game 7.
And I had to bring it up. Nice work by you.
There's a Game
All right.
7 going on right now, by the way. Canadians,
I'm sure
Bruins.
that was a great game. That Bruins game was great.
But, good.
So the Game 7s,
Yes.
they're happening. We've seen them in basketball and hockey. They're happening. It's that time of year.
Correct.
What do you do? What's your reaction when your team
Yeah.
loses a Game 7? Right? Your team, you're a diehard fan. They just lost Game 7. How do you react?
Well, Jeremy, it depends on what type of person are you. Are you a diehard fan like our friend Tony? He's probably drunk in his hotel room, crying.
He skipped work today, yeah.
Did he really? I believe it. I believe it. So, all right. So you're a diehard fan. That's it.
Yeah.
You stop watching until the final, like the Stanley Cup, until that game.
Why?
Because you're a diehard fan, you just stop watching. You're out of it. What else is there
But
to
you
watch?
still enjoy the sport.
It's very true. So now, if you're like me, Jeremy, that occasionally might gamble on the game, and your team drops out, you just watch the games. You're entertained. You really have no winner or losers. You're just kind of gambling back and forth, picking winners here and there.
I like that.
I still watch the games. But
What?
for our friend Tony, I doubt he's watching many other games or trying.
What I have a problem with, and what I would do is if my team lost Game 7, I would be thankful for the ride they just gave me. It means not only did they play a great playoff series or two like the Penguins did, they had a great season, and they won a lot of games. And it was great. One team wins a championship every year.
But Jeremy,
29 teams
I
don't,
know.
and 29 teams are upset.
But you have to look at the weaknesses. Sidney Crosby not playing well, barely scoring any goals. The team
So you go to negative town, and I think positively?
Okay, well, call Tony and then see how positive he
He's
is.
negative town. All my Penguins fans, which I have way too many of these Pittsburgh people in my life, they're all upset. They're all angry. And it's just like, stop for a second. I'm a Braves and a Dolphins fan. In the last 10 years, I haven't gotten jack shit
Well,
of a
because
playoff series.
you haven't even reached a good status level to be excited. The Dolphins just are so bad that they can't even get there.
But I'd be so thankful if the Orlando Magic had a winning season and won 2 playoff series and then lost a Game 7. Wow. What a great ride that was.
Yeah, okay.
And yet every Pittsburgh fan is so full of themselves and full of their team that they honestly expect to win the championship
Jeremy.
every single year. And it pisses me off. And they're ungrateful bastards. You need to look in the mirror and have a little perspective on
Jeremy,
this guy.
that's how all fans should be. They should be looking like the only good thing about this is you need to win. We expect you to win. If you don't have that attitude,
It's like fantasy
Don't play.
football. You don't literally play to win because 90% of the time you lose. So play it for the journey you just went
and
on.
the worst people usually win.
The worst.
The worst in the league usually win.
That's a different story.
You didn't, Jeremy, you tied this year.
I tied a fantasy football league championship.
You-
That's a problem. The rules. That's a rules problem.
Did you? Was that ever settled? Who won it?
Sam won bragging rights.
Oh.
I got half the cash, so that's all I care about, if you know what I'm saying.
All right. If you want to check out more of our videos, go to youtube.com/sports hangover, at TSH Podcast on Twitter, and we're tweeting all the time. A lot of Game 7 going on right now.
Hashtag Game 7.
Whoa! All right. If we don't get molested, arrested, or abused, we'll be back next time.